Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I'm your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter, no longer a statue, from an asteroid near Brow.
Hi everyone, I'm Dakami-sama and I play Solas Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hey everyone, I'm James. I play Ockar, Paladin from Brawl, hoping that we finally get to Brawl space at least, if not Brawl itself today.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sailing Water. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hi, I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage, and she wants to find her family now more than before.
Hey there, I'm Lafdul. Zach, and I play Lafdul Moonglade, a elven specialty priest, and occasionally a thief when he feels so inclined from realm space. He follows the mischievous god Ervan is there who demands that his priests, specifically the Mischiefmakers, reinvent themselves, so he has to come up with fun titles every week. So his current title is I just realized at the last minute I've had to change it because it made no sense. Yeah, it's based on me because I had food poisoning the other day. So yeah, there's a bit of self flame. I don't know what you want to call it. The lamented languishing liturgiologist. It was meant to be the liturgy something. Then I realized, oh, that's an end.
Self-deprecating, I think is what you're looking for.
That was it.
Self-burn.
Alright, so, if you viewers want to influence the game a little bit, 500 bits will get the player or dungeon master of your choice a reroll. As it stands right now, Braxon has 1, Leva has 3, Solas has 2, I have 11.
Are you sure that level has 3?
That's what I have written down. It's always possible that I failed to remove one or accidentally put one extra on.
She used at least 1 last time. I know about that. I know that.
So
and I started off with 3.
But here's the thing. If I make a mistake on this, you benefit.
All right. Why don't you could make a mistake and count your own down to 5 and spread the other 5 to us.
Oh, we got two new rerolls.
Indeed, one for Lafdul and one for Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Also, since old forgets to mention, you can also use channel points to affect the game.
I just tend to assume that people look at the channel point options when they get into a stream, so... Anyway, we left off last time. You had just left now Margoth's asteroid with her newly formed goblin friends who, may or may not be your friends in the future. We'll have to see. But, I mean, a lot of that is just going to depend on, how things go. But you are on your way back to Brawl. You do know that it is just 1 sphere away now. So your crew is also aware of this, and they're the anticipation is palpable amongst them.
Yeah.
All right. So, first of all, you can go ahead and get your hit points maxed out if you haven't yet, because there was a fair bit of downtime that you were there and everything like that. So,
that's a good idea.
Setting sail into the wild blue yonder.
Well, more like black yonder at this point, but
Eventually rainbow colored, right?
Well, right now it's black. Soon it'll be rainbow.
I mean, when we get to the Florida Sun, there'll be some blue in there.
Yeah. All right. So, was there anything that anyone thought of before you left that you wanted to retcon? I did think of something that I wanted to do, but I wanted to see if there was anything that anyone wanted
There's
to do
some
themselves.
minor things. If I could get some boulders or rocks. I mean, it could be done at any asteroid. Something that I can chisel to come up with templates or prototypes for when I join this. I plan on sculpting a unicorn head and attaching the horn from another separate sculpture. So I want to come up with some prototypes to see if I can come up with a good one to work on, rather than trying it first time and hoping it works. So some kind of pliable stone material,
Sure.
hopefully.
Sure. Actually, I did remember that you had stopped at an asteroid to destroy that book as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that took place. All right. Yeah. So you could have at that point picked up some rock to try some other things with. In general, like the way that it works is that like you get settings and there's like metal that you put the two things together and then you fold in the metal so that it holds it. With jewelry and sculpting that or some other material. So you would be pretty familiar, but if you want to do a prototype to like get the size and shape and everything like that first, oftentimes what you'll do is you do a small model and then scale it up for the final product. Does that make sense to you?
That's fine. Because I do want this one to be a really good. I'm putting a lot of effort into these.
Okay. So yeah, you can definitely get some material to work on for that. Yes, Braxon, you had something?
Yeah. I haven't really had Braxon doing any arrow making, and I know I haven't bought loads of arrowheads and stuff, but could he go around and find some branches that can be turned into arrows?
Yeah, and that's I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that being like kind of a default background thing that you're doing to replenish your stock. I mean, you're very much at a point in the campaign where as long as you're tracking, like when you go away from your ship, you're like, I'm taking 10 arrows or 20 bolts with me kind of thing. I have no problem with you guys having a functionally unlimited supply of basic non-magical arrows and bolts and sling stones on your ship that you can always replenish from.
Yeah, what I basically want to start doing is like have Braxon build up a sort of like company supply so that we can have like
someone to
buckets for
kill
the ship's
time with.
archers. Yeah, like a downtime thing to do.
Just
Like
looking
other
at
people
the
knit.
warp wood spell, the reverse is straight in one, so you find some rickety.
Just get a collection of sticks.
Yeah, they may not be perfectly flat, but I suppose you whittle them down into shape.
So you oftentimes want particular woods for arrows and stuff like that.
Yeah, they need to be able to do different compression, don't they? Like
that's perfectly fine.
Bows, 2 different types of wood.
It's perfectly fine to as something that your background doing for downtime of replenishing your stock to partially explain why you have that. That's fine. Yeah.
What's the deal with the ship weapons? I mean, a ballista's like a bigger version of a crossbow, but I'm guessing that it's not the same thing making a ballista bolt.
No, you do. Bowyer Fletcher does not cover that.
Yeah.
What would be the appropriate for that? Like a siege engineer?
I would have to think about that, but
yeah, I don't need to know straight away, but I'm just thinking, and also for our asteroid base, like if we're going to have that base and we're going to have people permanently there, maybe they could make catapult shots for us and ballista bolts and things we actually use.
Turning our asteroid into Swiss cheese.
Well,
so okay, let
me.
The Bowyer Fletcher would work for ballista bolts with an additional proficiency in ballistas.
Right.
So
like a weapon proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would also mean that you'd get a +1 to hit with a ballista that you're in charge of.
All right. I might.
Catapult stones, they're pretty easy to make because you can either use, like, if you're just using stone, you can just get stones that are of an appropriate size and weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to make something special, like grape shot is also super easy to do. Like, it's just pebbles and shards of
Oh,
you know,
right.
stuff.
Yeah, in a bag.
You can get iron catapult shot, and you can get like clay catapult shot. And again, a lot of that stuff is pretty easy to make with the appropriate things. So like any blacksmith could make
Yeah.
iron shot. Any potter could make clay shot if you wanted to put something inside it, kind of thing.
Also, like maybe Ockar could make iron shot, even though it's not directly his thing.
It's just a ball of iron.
Yeah, but he'd need an appropriate facility.
Yeah. Okay.
But stone is also ever present, so.
Can
The
you
iron
make
shot.
those? I know that cannons used to have those shots that were basically few smaller cannonballs with a chain between them.
There's chain
Chain
shot,
shot.
yeah. I don't know if it is for catapults, though.
Yeah, there's a Spelljammer weapon called a gnomish sweeper that like 2 catapults that fires 2 balls with a chain, and I think it goes wrong a lot of the time.
Yeah, but there is also, there's also chain shot
Mm.
somewhere. I don't know. I mean, again, like any non-magical equipment that's in the Spelljammer material, you can go ahead and look it up and read about it and see if you want to buy it next time
Okay.
you're in
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
Well, no,
It's
I'm
fine.
just thinking.
Could I devise a chain shot for catapult with the engineering?
If there isn't already chain shot, then for a catapult and it only exists for bombards, then my assumption would be that the nature of catapults don't make that effective.
Okay.
And that would be something that you would need an actual
The
bombard
point
for.
of chain
Well,
shot
anyway.
is to shoot sideways along the target. I mean, you'd be going
Yeah.
up for a
Yeah, so
up arc.
chain
which wouldn't be
shot, one
effective.
of the main reasons for is to try and take out masts and things like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's designed for, and you do aim at the mast. Whereas catapults, you're generally dropping something down onto them, given the arc. Except
Okay.
it's a little bit different in space, but because of the arc, it does change things up. So
I guess Braxon will concentrate on making arrow shafts for the return trip,
Mhm.
and then he'll look into what we can do about making siege weapons and stuff, or hiring people that do stuff on our asteroid later.
Yeah.
Maybe on Brow.
I mean, in general, like if there isn't if there isn't non-magical equipment already in one of the books, and you're welcome to look in other books as well for
Yeah.
non-magical equipment and stuff like that, that feels reasonable and not setting specific.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. If there isn't something like that existing, then you'd kind of need to, out of the game, show me in reality that it's capable and it is reasonable at this, tech and knowledge level and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I can't recall hearing about chain shot from catapults, only cannon, so.
If you want to have siege weapons designed, once Solas has more time, Solas can design siege weapons.
I mean, you can also just buy
engineering
them, so. keep in
Yeah,
mind.
but engineering proficiency makes it so that Solas is proficient in designing and using siege weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. No, I just wanted to know what I could harvest to be making stuff. So I think Braxton will be focusing on making lots of arrow shafts for now.
Okay.
Just an idea, but wouldn't chain shot work better with ballistas instead of catapults?
Well, you generally need to fire 2 shots, and you can't really fire 2 shots with a ballista. At least not these ballista, because they fire bolts rather than stones. Historically, there are ballistas that fire stones, but those aren't really what the Spelljammer ballistas are.
I mean, there's also crossbows that fire stones historically.
Yeah, and they're in D&D. They're pellet bows.
Mm-hmm.
But a big part of it is that like some of the stuff I don't want to have to try and come up with stats for if they aren't already in the game.
Yeah.
So, in general, it's just a lot easier to rely on things that have already been created, unless, again, like you can show me that this was a super common thing that should be in D&D or Spelljammer, and it just isn't because the people writing the material weren't aware of it. But it would have been common, and so that's where I will think of something that works. But in general,
I wasn't really thinking about that sort of thing. Maybe I'll do some searching with Volobot and talk to some people that know other D&D settings and like, do they have anything that's not obviously science fiction or too advanced?
well, I mean, to start with, you could look through of Ships in the Sea and all the Spelljammer material. Like there's non-magical equipment scattered in multiple books.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Ships especially.
Yeah, I suppose the thing I liked most, which we got rid of, was the idea of harpooning things.
Well, again, like that's a big thing for whaling, and you're not a whaler. You're unlikely to deal with Kindori. I mean, in general, because of the nature of your characters, if you encounter Kindori, you're just going to be like, have fun out there. We're continuing on. We'll stay away from you in case there's a bull.
Yeah. Braxon wouldn't want to kill Kindori. I was more thinking that we could do something like shoot a harpoon into a ship and try and grapple the ship with a harpoon or something like that. But that's kind of weird stuff. That's Tinkernomish.
Yeah, I mean, either you're part of that is that like if you're in the same hex as another ship, then you've already got people throwing grapples over to grapple the other ship. If you're farther than a hex away, then you need thousands of yards of big, thick, sturdy rope.
That's true.
And that's a lot of weight and a lot of space and stuff like that. So you're like, there's an element of you're you have a solution in search of a problem kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I suppose what I need is not like a normal whaling harpoon, but like a magical short distance grappling machine that fires several grappling hooks at an enemy ship.
I mean,
on command.
If you're talking magic, you can always create a magic item.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have to worry about that now. Braxton was mostly thinking of stuff he could harvest without annoying Finn. Might get a raised eyebrow if he comes back in with a load of branches.
You seem amused by the idea of annoying me.
No, he knows Finn likes trees. Braxton also likes trees, but in a different way.
I mean, druids are not opposed to using the raw materials of nature. They're just opposed to rampant exploitation of it. You know?
Yeah.
If you're being reasonable in what you're collecting, and you're not just like clear cutting the forest, most druids are gonna be like, yeah, that's fine. You're respecting it. Now, Finn could be different. I don't want to speak for him.
No, that is pretty much how Finn feels about it.
Yeah.
It would be otherwise pretty awkward if we ever needed to harvest some lumber to fix our ship from some asteroid.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get underway, and
You asked for retconning. I gave you a response because
Oh.
everybody else was talking.
I'm sorry. What was it? What was it?
I sent it to you as letter. Well, actually, I sent a message.
Oh, yep. Sorry. I missed that. Sorry. Okay. Yeah,
She is-
that's fine.
Okay. For 7 to 9, she needs to use scrolls.
Yeah.
And she needs to decide which spells she's going to lose based on that. Yes.
So I mean,
She'll
again,
fix
that's
that.
something that, like, if someone has a scroll of a spell that they don't really care about that is of that high level, that's, you know, something to talk to other people about. But right, and there was something that I wanted to retcon as well. Margoth would have given you 1,000 gold pieces as payment for her passage.
Wow.
I vote
That's-
that 1,000 is put to the company funds plus given the crew shares, but I think it would divide it to so small amount that at least Solas is putting it into the company funds.
That's okay with me, but it might not be okay with everyone. So,
So
if it's
wait.
not, if it's
So
not
wait.
okay,
No, company's fine. She paid
Company's
the
fine.
company. She didn't just pay some of us.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
fine with the company.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how much was she giving us again? 1,000?
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
It'd be about 100 gold or something, basically.
We
Yes.
thank her. That was nice.
Uh-huh.
Unexpected.
Shares break down to 83
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just put it in the thing.
Okay.
with 419 already going to the company.
Just keep it in the company.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
And split out the crew as well.
And the
though.
crew
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
so the one crew share of 83. So
Yeah, since we also need to fund the company.
Okay, so you do get underway. So you're looking at quite a lengthy trip over a month to get to the sphere wall. So let's
didn't
start
have
with.
You didn't have a sphere chart for this.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to really push you guys to not go to all the other planets, so I didn't have to lay them all out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
This
one
is a
pretty
big
isn't it?
sphere with like something between, like, somewhere around 16 orbital bodies, that which some of those are belts and stuff like that. And I was like, if not for going to this one outpost, you would have just be passing through. So I didn't feel like putting anything down. All right, so on the first week of your trip, Braxon, you're primarily working on like replenishing your stock of arrows and things like that. Anything else?
Yeah. I can't remember we've done a full ship inspection recently, but he'll
You have.
probably want to get through the arrows because he can get rid of the bark and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can basically assume that after a month it's time to do it, because I'm pretty sure you did one pretty close to getting to your destination.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's not so important that it has to be done exactly every month. So
No, it's not important. To be honest, it's partly to keep the crew quality up, and it's partly so that
right,
if we
but I
get
meant more the
barnacles and
timing of
stuff,
it.
they don't have enough time to. Yeah. I don't care. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's partly to give the crew something that stops them from losing their quality, and it's partly so that if anything like a barnacle gets on the ship, it doesn't have 6 months to grow.
Yeah. Okay. Solas.
Solas is doing a few things. First, I'm recharging my Wand of Fire and the Wand of Lightning Bolt, or Lightning. And then Lafdul researched Abeyance sometime before, and Solas is also interested in that spell, so he would ask Lafdul to teach it for him.
Yeah, we teach each other the spells we learn if they're applicable. I think that was the agreement we came across.
I can barely hear you.
Oh, I shall speak up then. Yeah, we came to. I can't remember if we made it like that kind of agreement, but I think we made it so like if we learn a spell, we teach each other because we both benefit from each other's research if we can learn the spell. That is. So yeah, I don't really have
I think
any problem.
I think we
teaching you.
agreed upon that.
What spell did you have that I could learn? Focus Stone.
Focal Stone, yes, I studied that last time.
And I have Mind Cloak and Abeyance.
I'm
Are
mostly
you sitting
interested
back
in the
from
Abeyance.
your microphone or something?
I was not talking directly into it.
Okay.
How's this?
That's a lot better.
All right. Yeah, I was kind of talking over it. Sorry.
But yeah, I would be interested in learning the Abeyance from Lafdul.
You should be able to learn. Well, can I actually teach that if I can actually make use of the spell, considering I don't have 2 5th level spells?
What do you mean?
Because the whole point of the spell is to demonstrate its use, isn't it?
No.
it the theory?
When you teach pre-spells, you're teaching the proper mode of requesting it. Like when you research a spell, a big part of that is learning what the proper means of prayer is to request a spell, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fine. If you want, you can have them both. So I'm not sure if Finn can learn any of the spells we're sharing. Because they're in the protection sphere and all sphere. You got all?
He has all, yes.
Oh, he can learn Abeyance then.
Well, if Finn is interested in Solas, could teach him what he has studied, the Dweomer Flow and Focal Stones.
Oh yeah, they're also in.
You already taught me Dweomer Flow.
Oh yeah. Well, if you are interested in, I can teach you also the Focal Stone spell.
Not even sure what that one does.
It's basically enchants a gem to be able to hold a spell, and on its own, it also can be used to increase the value of the gem. And if I remember correctly, the gem could be used as a neutralized poison, but it would be used in that
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
neutralized poison in liquid.
I mean, at some point you will have your own altar or shrine, I assume, for when you're in the flow, so you'll be able to put spells into that and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, since I've noticed that you carry a lot of gems. If nothing else, it would. It is mentioned in the spell that it increases the value of the gems.
Is that permanent?
It is permanent until you have put a spell in the focal stone and use the spell. The spell would that would then shatter the focal stone or the gem.
Uh-huh.
That would take care of its value, yes.
Mm.
Keep in mind that
And
increasing the value would mess it up in terms of using the gem as a material component.
Yeah, you can't use it as a material component after that, since it's magically enchanted at that point.
Well, never hurts to learn things.
Yeah.
All right, so it would
Yeah,
it would take a couple days
definitely,
to teach everyone those spells. I'll let you guys
Okay.
trade the details amongst yourselves. Solas, how many charges are you putting into the Wand of Lightning?
I'm putting 2 charges in.
Okay.
And same with the Wand of Fire.
Would you mind charging Leva's magic missiles? Charge the wand?
It's possible.
Should be able to
But,
do it through the Whammerflow.
Yeah, I can charge it, but it takes the Dwemer is 4th level spell, so I need to remember to take account on that, since I'm not in a sphere where I can just pray them normally.
Okay, nah, it's okay.
But yeah, I can charge it at least twice during this trip.
You could do that the next week or something like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So remember to bring that up on the second week.
Mm-hmm.
Ockar, how about you?
I don't really have any plans or anything I had specifically in mind.
Okay. That's fine. You can just do stuff around the ship kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna panel what I normally do, my normal duties.
Okay. Finn?
Yeah, Finn's mainly going to be focusing on caring for his plants.
Okay. Leva?
Well, Lara will two things. One is she will ask Finn whether we can repeat the showing with Talux present to see whether it is a reminder of something, recognizes anything, or anything like that. And the second one is that she will continue with the research with Mislead. She has 13 days left on that.
Okay. Finn, any issue with redoing that showing?
No,
Okay.
we just need some more quartz, that's all.
Which is not hard to get. Like.
Yep.
All right. I think that has a 90% chance now to work. If I remember correctly from last week. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think so. Sounds about right.
Okay.
I can pull it up real quick.
Because I think it caps at 90%, and it would have been 95 otherwise. Okay. Well, I rolled well enough that it doesn't really matter, because that would have worked, I think, with the first roll. Okay, so Finn and Leva, you get together with Talix and redo the showing. Are you just watching Talix to see if it reacts in any way, or are you gonna ask questions, or what? What do you want to do?
Well, she's certainly watching it to see whether it reacts in any way, and definitely if it reacts, she wants to know what it sees and whether it recognizes anything. Whether it knows about that, whether it already existed at that point.
So Talix does not react in any way.
And when she asks, do you recognize anything?
It will say that it does not.
Okay. Were you already alive at that time? Or present at that time?
I do not know.
Okay. What a pity. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And how much time do you have left on that research?
13 days.
Okay. So a week will pass for that. And Lafdul, how about you?
I want to do scroll link research, but if not, I will be doing sculpting. I had several spells I mentioned to you.
Yeah, you wanted to try and redo.
2 of them, and I had several new ones.
Okay.
I don't know if you got those. When I mentioned they were like cure disease, slow poison, hold poison, cure blindness, deafness, detect disease, detect poison. If not, then I'll just do those. Yeah. You can do them at some other point.
Yeah, I don't know that I remember reading those new ones. Where?
Right at the very bottom.
Nope. Yeah, sorry. I think I got distracted by the sculpture stuff.
And get the other 2.
Telepathy,
Memory read.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have any scroll inks for those other ones. I'll look, but all right.
Well, it's
so
here nor there if I know the recipe right now. It's not that I'm going to be able to do anything with them. It's whether or not I can learn them.
that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it does take time to do the research, so.
Yeah, how much time does
Wasn't
it
it
actually take?
comparable to spell research in time?
Oh, wow, really?
I don't think it is.
I
Or
thought
is
it
it
was like
faster?
a day of levels for the spell level or something. It wasn't not nearly as long.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll for because you've gained a level. You've gained a priest level
Levels.
since then, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you
so
can
I'm just
try
trying
to.
find...
Well, all of my stuff just falls on the floor. You can go ahead and roll for the first one. Which one do you want to focus on while I'm looking up the
telepathy.
amount of time it takes? Okay.
So what was it? I need a... Well, let me just roll first before I make a check, so I can adjust it after the fact, because if it's too loud...
I don't think you're speaking directly into your microphone again.
Nope, I was not. I'm pretty sure that's going to fail, but I'm going to check. Because it's a third level, so it's -3 and +2, because 2 fourth on the library level. An appropriate book. There are some books in the library. There are some books like Librum of Invoked Creation, on Compositions and Geases, Liberatus Macurium, Spiritus Congianto. There's quite a few books, but I don't know
You'd
which
need
ones
something specifically on like mental style
Mental.
magic or something like that for telepathy.
Compositions and Geases are mental. Ish.
It's more
Mystic.
compulsion than
No.
communication.
No,
so
that's fine.
no, I don't think you have any.
I think I'm on the mark. I'm not sure. And what's my target? Target me 12 plus 12 3 plus 2. Sorry, hang on. Oh, Claire, hurry up. Because I'm terrible at maths, even though this is easy maths. Spellcraft 12 minus 2.
Sorry, I'm looking
I
up
hit the score exactly.
the time.
So I do succeed, but on the mark.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
11 is what I need for a third level spell, which is what I'll need for the other one.
Sorry, I just need to see where the time is. I know it's here. I literally know that it's here, and I am just completely blanking on where it says it. It doesn't actually say it under the scroll, which is kind of annoying, but for now, I'm just gonna say it takes a week because I'll have to look this up. I thought it was easier to find than this. Very weird.
What book is it in?
It would be in Spells and Magic.
Mm-hmm.
The rules that I'm using. Yeah, so we'll just say for now that it takes a week of research. And with a success, okay, so that was for telepathy, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you need, for the ink. Powdered bone naga bones. Gelatin from the skulls of multiple intelligent creatures.
Wait. I mean, powdered
And I can give you
bones
this.
from
I can give you this after
bone.
the game if you
Oh,
ask me.
alright.
And 1 ounce of blood from the scroll maker. And then to actually inscribe the scroll, you need a Dowar feather steeped in Mind Flare blood essence.
Blood essence.
Did you collect any blood?
They were undead blind mind flayers anyway, so.
Oh, okay. But do they still have essence?
I think
That
that's just flavoring on how he's worded it.
it kind of is. It basically it's you need to process the blood kind of thing.
Okay.
Or conveniently in the mind flare sphere, so guess what Lafdul's doing if he finds a mind flare that happens to be hostile?
Find some that aren't hostile. I think you'd have less.
Find some friendly mind flayers and offer them the treatment of bloodletting.
So again,
I mean, there is.
Mhm.
Yeah. No. Fine.
So
I don't think I have any
the
ingredients.
thing to keep in mind is that like if you have an ingredient that you think would work, remember this is for telepathy, so it should be thematically appropriate.
Yeah, I got brain matter from Elder Brain, and well, they're undead though, so it's going to be real hard to come across that kind of thing.
You can try to see, do some additional research to see if you can successfully swap an ingredient out.
Doesn't it made it like a -4 on a check?
Yeah.
That would be another week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't that cumulatively stack every time you fail until you go up a level? Because I do remember something like that.
Yeah, but it depends on how much you're trying to swap out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to swap out 2 ingredients, then it's cumulative. Basically, the thing is like you can either swap it or you can't, and the check is to see if you can swap it.
Yeah, I'm just worried about how much time I'm spending on doing this, and by the time the weeks go by, it's probably no longer usable. And plus, they're undead, so the odds of it working if it's undead are pretty slim.
Well, but this is also, I mean, like this is for an scroll ink. Like a lot of times it can be powdered and stuff like that, and preserved.
Yeah, but doesn't it profane it if it's undead?
Maybe it is you're researching the specific ingredient that you have. So if you have undead elder brain
and undead
brain matter, then you're specifically looking to see if you can swap that particular ingredient in. So if you want to do that, you can try that.
Like, yeah, I mean, I do. So this is fact that it's taking a week. This is going to kill me.
Is this when Lafdul starts giving us cure potions made out of elder brain to see what happens?
No, it's not that. I'm supposed to be sculpting this bloody statue. I didn't realise this would take so long. It's unfortunate. I mean, I've got to do the scroll ink thing, so yeah.
If only we had more time.
So right, but so the thing is like researching, and actually I think it's supposed to take longer because I think researching scroll ink is basically the same as a potion. It's a one-time thing. You research it one time and then you can as long as you have the ingredients, you can continually create more and more of these items. There's still a chance to succeed or fail, but yeah, I mean, there's a big time investment up front, but then once you're ready to create the things, they're real fast to create by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind that if you're researching to see if you can swap an ingredient, both of those recipes still work. You're essentially creating a second recipe for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, before you get started, you can ask me up front, is this going to, am I going to waste the ingredients if I do this? And I'll tell you yes or no. And if I say yes, then...
Yeah, no, I suppose considering it's brain matter in HR that's got some kind of embalming fluid that I do not know how to create, so I'd have to ask the alchemists.
Well, it's also undead, like formerly undead, so...
Oh, does undead stuff preserve power?
It might. But I did, I am pretty sure that it is supposed to take 1d3 plus 1 weeks at a cost of 100 gold pieces per week.
Alright.
But if the character uses a commune or contact other plane spell to speed his research, he automatically succeeds in the minimum time. So.
Oh, yeah. This definitely would be. Because it's been... Because I didn't use the commune with Mind Cloaks. I think I started it in the flow.
To research?
Yeah, when I did the previous spell that I did. This is the spell, sorry, I said the microphone. When I did the Mind Cloak, the spell that I learned before we did this Illithid base, I started that in the inside the flow, so I didn't have the benefits. It's been long enough that I can use commune again. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes, I would like to use commune.
Okay. So that will cost you 2 weeks, 200 gold to complete that initial research.
200 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solas would, before starting the spell research that I messaged to you last week, Solas would cast commune on it.
Commune on what? I'm sorry?
I messaged you last week what the spell was that I was planning on researching next.
Oh, that spell, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would use commune on it.
Okay, I think commune is a little bit different for spells. Let me see.
Yeah, it worked basically like a
as having a
scroll, if I
scroll.
remember correctly.
You get half the cost half the time.
Half the cost, half the time. Okay, yeah. Okay. So you can do that as well. Was that something that you were starting this week, or were you going to wait until next week?
I started it after next week because this week I was learning and teaching the spells.
Okay. All right.
And also doing few recharging.
Okay. Right. There we go. All right.
Would I have enough time to, after learning the abeyance, to recharge the Wand of Frost?
I mean, that's entirely up to how many spells you can cast.
Well, then I would recharge it twice, since I needed abeyance to recharge that wand.
Okay. Give me a second to update that.
Mm-hmm. Since Dwemer Flow only works on spells up to 4th level.
All right, and two charges?
Yeah.
All right. So you're using Cones of Cold to recharge that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the spell that I need to use for that.
Okay. All right. So, all of you begin to get that underway as Braxon, working with Glau, has identified where you need to go in the sphere wall to get to the appropriate portal and Phlogiston River. So you get underway. The first few days are pretty uneventful, but on the 4th day, during second shift, which is going to be Leva, Braxon, and Lafdul, Braxon, you notice that one of your crew is missing on the, during crew shift changeover and everything like that.
One of my crew or one of the other crew?
One of the crew members is missing. One of the human crew members is missing.
Okay. Gonna post double lookouts for scavers, and if this is on changeover, do an immediate search of the ship to see if there's anyone ill anywhere.
Okay.
Do we know where he was last seen?
And Braxon would also pass messages to people just going off shift that someone's gone missing.
Okay.
If I can get an idea of where he last was, I can try thought capture. If he got attacked, that would be a pretty strong emotion or thought.
Some of the crew members will mention when they last saw him and things like that. And getting the search underway and keeping an extra lookout for scavers. Within about 2 hours, crew members do notice the telltale signs that there are some scavers trailing your ship, hiding in its shadow and stuff like that. They're just a small group of brown scavers. So once that's discovered, the crew and you guys are able to take care of them without any trouble. Cutting them open afterwards, you do discover the remains of that one crew member.
Right.
Can you resurrect? You raise it if he's been digested?
You can't raise, you can resurrect. Because he's been chewed up. Like, you'd have to repair his injuries and everything.
None of us know reincarnate, do we?
Generally, unless you know that someone wants to be reincarnated, you may not actually want to do that. Because that could go, like... Think about it this way. How many people would rather be alive as a bear than dead in the afterlife in their paradise, you know? If they were a human beforehand.
Apart from Braxon.
I mean, again, yeah, there are some people who would want that. But what percentage do you think it would be?
I mean, your paradise might include you as a bear.
Just
true.
pointing out that
Knowing my god and how Aravan would, I get reincarnated as a bear, but when I die as a bear, I go on to the Elven paradise, but as a bear, because Aravan would just think that's funny.
Right, I'm just pointing out that if you don't already know that someone wants to be reincarnated with the spell Reincarnate, it is generally a good idea to not do that.
Yeah. Okay,
so... and now, there can be really good story aspects to doing that and like, ignoring their, their wishes. But we're talking about a crew member here, not an NPC. Like, I'd be all for role-playing this out if Lenelius died and you really wanted to bring him back, or Margot died and you really wanted to bring her back, that kind of thing. But this is a crew member.
Random NPC, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, you could do speak with dead and find out if they
I just
do
confirmed
anything.
our last wishes.
In general, when it comes to the crew,
He's saying no.
Well, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, like, for one thing, it's
Mm.
opening doors that I don't really think that need to be open.
Yeah, we probably have a will from the crew members.
Yeah.
If I die, give my money to my wife or whatever.
So again, keep in mind,
that
like,
would be standard practice.
keep in mind also that Resurrection and Raise Dead should be very, 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 very rare. Because it's not just a routine thing. The king dies, the king is assassinated, and just raise him, reincarnate him, resurrect him. It doesn't happen very often. There is a game element of it's open to you guys as PCs because you're PCs. You're special that way. There's a little bit of a lampshade hanging on that.
I think Braxon's going to ask people to buddy up when they're on duty.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No.
So that if anyone gets attacked, there's somebody else that knows straight away. And also say if people are off duty and want to come on deck, that they should check with the person who's on watch on that deck when they come out, when they go back in again.
Okay. All right. That ends up working out really well because the following day, the crew are able to spot a Voidscaver before it does anything, before it's able to attack anyone. And again, you guys take care of it, no problem.
Nice.
Cool.
So, I mean, you're basically at a point now where Scavers are more of a nuisance rather than a challenge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unless we encounter extremely specific situation.
Yeah, most Scavers, I should say.
We got nets, but I think our nets have got damaged, didn't they?
They might have been, yeah.
Which of the Scavers that poison? They got poisonous breath, haven't they?
Brown Scavers.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, some Scavers are tasty, some Scavers are poisonous.
Yeah, brown Scavers are poisonous.
As this week is going on, considering I'm free to memorize my second level spells, even though I've got Contact and Power because I cast Commune, I am casting Priest Lock. I'm casting 3 Priest Locks, and I'm casting them around our Helm's room. And I will go to Braxon and Ockar for the passwords, and obviously to tell the Helmsman. It's kind of like an area of our ship we should really have behind magically warded doors.
Yeah. I think we're in the Phlogiston now.
No, you're not.
Is that?
No,
Oh, okay.
it doesn't
Sorry.
matter.
We have a month to reach Phlogiston.
And unlike the wizard lock,
right, sorry.
these ones are done by words. So, I mean, you get silenced, you can't open the door. But, yeah.
So you want to
So you
priest
have-
lock all 3 doors into the
Helm room.
into the bridge? Okay. There's still a fair number of people who would need to know that password, just so you know.
Yeah.
But it's still going to stop. That's why I'm not putting them everywhere. I'm just getting that particular room is too important for us to not
Yep.
All right.
have some level of protection. I mean, I might put one on the library as well. Yeah, I would put one on the library as well, and I would tell, obviously, all the officers and everyone.
That is not very readable. Hold on.
Did priest lock affect things like glyphs and such?
No, they can be cast together.
Just making sure.
I think if you want to have a lot of the crew not knowing the passwords, that means that
That's
the
only for
officers,
personal rooms.
yeah. Well, you said the research room. We've got crew that need to come in and service things and stuff. So
We'll have like a watch captain that knows the password.
Yeah.
He opens the door for the regular crew.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's something that you could easily keep particularly secret.
You just get
over
one
time.
of the helmsman or something.
I mean, even if it was common knowledge with the crew, I doubt that during combat situations our enemy would have time to interrogate that
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think of it as more of a this is for protecting it from invaders rather than
Yeah.
restricting access. Like if you want to actually restrict access to a room, like just have a limited number of keys kind of thing. But then you have the big problem of, you know, in emergency situations, that place is completely blocked off. Like if a fire starts in the helm room, people can't get in to put it out. You need to be able to get a large number of your people into places pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want the limited option, that's against the infiltrators, and the just common password that everyone in the ship knows is against invaders situation. I'd
Well,
say.
yeah, we've had 2 problems with this. One was a spy that infiltrated the Pragmatic Order of Thought, who got into the helm room. The other was when we had a load of Illithids teleport in, and both those situations, although they were terrible, required a load of people to get into the helm and murder the people that were trying to kill the helmsman. So
All we need is
yeah,
one person to open the door. I mean, there's 3
yeah,
doors to
yeah.
go into
But
the helm's room.
all is right. We do need to defend the helm room, but we also, if that goes wrong, if we're stopping our own people from getting in to stop the helmsman from being murdered, then if it takes 4 rounds for someone to chop the door down with an axe to get in, then someone could have already killed the helmsman or destroyed the helm or something.
Well, I mean, there's
I'm
pros
not
and
saying
cons
don't.
of
I'm not saying don't do it.
everything.
I'm not saying don't do it.
I
but
mean,
I
if
think,
I'm around, I generally have my granted power, and if it's only if
Yeah.
I'm silenced that I can't open a door.
yeah. I'm not saying don't do it, but I think all's right in saying that it will be like things stop intruders. You probably want to change the password every time we change the crew or something.
Yeah, I can do. It doesn't cost me anything other than the spell memorization to actually.
There is one room where you could easily put a priest lock on the door with just the players knowing the password.
Yeah, there's our locker, whatever you call
Yeah.
it. That.
Treasure room.
This will be stretched out over the course of a week, probably 2
Yeah, that's
slots
fine.
a day or something. I'd probably put one for the
On
thingy
the strong room.
yeah.
Okay.
Also priest lock on the safe would not be a bad idea.
What languages do we all know? We all know Common. Do we all know Elvish?
I don't think everyone knew Elvish.
No, but Leva learned it. Lafdul taught it to her.
So
Yeah,
keep like the password doesn't have to be in a language.
true.
Yeah, I mean, if
It can just be a series of letters and numbers.
The password it can just be a sound, like something like a vocalization. I mean, you don't want it to be a scream, but I'm saying like it can be a nonsense word.
well, you can make it harder for people to know it, the more complicated it is. So it's like
Right, but I
me
mean,
think both
like
know Pixie, so
my point
What?
is my point is like no one like you could choose a word in Pixie. That's perfectly fine as a password. Doesn't mean that everyone has to know Pixie to use it. They just have to know the word.
Or we could use that everyone whistles the "What do we do with the drunken sailor?"
Not everyone can
as a
whistle.
password.
So again, like as a real world example, like you could set the word Agricola as a password. Doesn't matter if you know Latin or not to say Agricola.
Alright, that aside, minimum time, 1 round to open, because I can actually set a delay, so I assume 1 round. It's the minimum I have to do to open it, I think. I don't know if it can be done instantly.
Finn can provide you a few words in Treant to use for passwords, but it might take a while to get through the door.
It might be hard. Like again, like the people who are learning the word need to be able to memorize it. It's maybe a little bit difficult for
Oh,
word
it says the
treant.
priest can place a time delay. I don't have to.
I mean,
But
it's
I was
entirely up to you.
able
You guys, you can work that out later. The fact that you're doing this is fine. But if you do work out that it's something other than just say the word and boom, you can open it kind of thing, let me know so that I can make a note of that in case it comes up.
I'm
Can't I-
also going to replace mine because I think I cast mine at 7th or 8th level, so it's harder to dispel the higher level I am. And I can cancel it by speaking it in reverse.
I'm perfectly
Same.
fine as just kind of a default thing. Every time you gain a level, then you're re-upping priest locks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a suggestion, Lafdul.
Yeah.
Your idea is a good idea. What if we had? I think we had a box with stuff that the helmsman could use to defend themselves, like wands and stuff.
Yeah.
What if we had something like that with a priest lock on it that only the helmsman know, including
Helmsmen
the
and
spellcasters?
officers.
Yeah, and officers.
I mean, yeah, I can do if you want me to. That's fine.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, then it will actually do the thing you do because no one needs to open that box except them. So
Yeah.
I think that's where your
We
idea would
can
work really
have
well.
a designated box that only they can open.
Yeah,
That's big enough for emergency supplies.
yeah,
Yeah, so again, like in between sessions, detail out that. You don't need to purchase a chest. You guys have plenty of chests, so there can be a chest in there. I think there was already the idea that there was a chest in there and stuff like that.
yeah.
So, but also keep in mind, like the bridge is pretty large. It's a large chamber. There's a lot of space in there.
Yeah.
Like, and it has full windows and everything like that. It's also a good place to be when you are on duty as captain or acting captain and stuff like that. I mean, and you can have meetings in there. It's large enough for that. So
Yeah.
keep in mind that it, like if you're restricting access to the space too much, then you can be causing some issues that way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so just come up with where you want priest locks to be and what they what kind of protections you want.
I think Braxon probably has too much of a tendency to go outside when he's on shift. But yeah, you're right.
I would think Braxon would spend at least some time in the Helm's room.
No, he would, because he'd be looking at charts
Routine.
and stuff. He's not going to take charts outside on the deck because they'll get damaged. He'd
Yeah,
have
but
like
I would think you would also be there to discuss with the helmsmen about things other than charts.
yeah.
Okay.
And like Old said, it is a nice room with a good view.
Yeah. Okay. So,
glass portholes.
I'm sorry?
Just wondering, those they're like glass portholes, aren't they, in the helm room or something?
They're big, like full size windows, like full height, human height windows, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a glass wall on those parts.
Yeah.
Is that the very front of our ship?
Yes.
Looking at the below.
But I think that's not normal glass, if I'm correct.
They were glass steeled because you bought this ship.
Mm-hmm.
They were already glass steeled.
So it's extremely durable.
Yeah. Okay.
So is glass as strong as steel, or steel that's transparent?
It's glass that's as strong as steel.
Okay.
Gets the saves as steel, I think.
It saves as metal, yes. You glass steel turns normal glass into the strength of steel.
Does that have to be made permanent, or is it permanent?
I think it's permanent. I think it's permanent. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. All right, so the first week comes to a close. Lafdul still has another week of research to do. Leva will be finishing her research. Is there anything that anyone is doing differently this week? Solas, I think you did?
Yeah, on the second week I will start the spell research with casting of Commune, and also I'm at one point recharging Leva's wand of magic missiles twice.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Braxton's mostly going to carry on getting arrow shafts done. But he'll also have a chat with Ockar about arrowheads and
Make
whether
crossbow
we
bolts,
can
you?
Braxon can possibly make crossbow bolts, but he's concentrating on arrows.
I mean, you do use as bolts, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if Ockar wants to talk about crossbow bolts, we'll talk about both.
So the thing about that would require me to be able to like forge metal, and I'm also not a weaponsmith
Okay,
or someone that's skilled with making arrows. So this all kind of goes out of my wheelhouse.
fair enough.
Yeah, he's an armor smith.
Yeah, if you want me to fix up your armor, I could do that. I cannot make a sword.
Fair enough. No, I'm just trying to think about what we can do as we go along, and obviously we can't smelt metal on the ship.
Well, you got the crucible forging, but
I was going to mention
iron.
the crucible, but to do that, the crucible's an option. We could melt metal in there to like pour it into like a mold of some kind. But the problem I said, of course, is I can't make weapons.
Right.
Yeah,
you
would have
probably
to
do some experiments on that crucible to see how it works.
Okay.
I think we already did.
Did we?
Now, one
Fair
thing that
enough.
Ockar doesn't know the details on making weapons, but he does know enough to say what you would need, kind of thing, like
Yeah.
facility-wise.
I could tell you what you need for like the kind of steel you're looking for, but I can't walk you through the process of making an arrowhead. That's not what I do.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can also buy arrowheads. So
Yeah. I guess we will. Braxton's just basically mentally thinking out the process of what we do, so that we can be making stuff as we go along.
Well, yeah, I can't really help you much other than material.
No, but we could possibly buy parts of armor and you put them together or something like that for the crew.
I mean, I could do that, I guess. I guess I could put it together. It depends. Some things I might have to make custom, and I'd also have to adjust things per person. That might also require me to have like specialized tools and such.
Yeah.
So chainmail's relatively easy to do. It is just very tedious.
Yeah, chainmail. But if we're going for like half plate or full plate or something like the armor I've got, that requires a lot of like working with adjustments and stuff.
Wasn't your armor splint mail?
The armor I have is banded.
Yeah, it's got the old school banded.
I have like the Roman style banded armor.
Yeah, lorikata.
Yeah.
Do you get greaves with that? Because you got a leather skirt.
it's a full suit of armor. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would give me greaves.
Fair enough. I was just wondering, like, we've had a few battles where we've had to pull people out of battles, whether we might want to get better fighters in the future, and
the way I understand it, at least on the armor side, is that the better the armor is, like AC value, the more complicated it is to work with and fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
so I think up to change should be relatively easy.
Basically, everything up to mail, is you just buy an appropriately sized suit.
Yeah.
When you start getting into splint armor and banded armor, there's a little bit more fitting involved, but then when you're at like full plate and field plate, they generally need to be fitted to you. Plate armor is a little bit more like it's still a bit of a hybrid.
Like the set of full plate I have in my room is specifically fitted for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, did I sacrifice that?
Yes, you did. That's right.
Yeah, the full plate I used to have was specifically fitted for me. No one could really use it other than me.
Yeah. At least not
There
without
are-
adjustmorphs.
Yeah, there
you
are
can
ways
polymorph
to
self
adjust
into the
it.
right size.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe,
Might
but
take a little while.
you'd have to do adjustments either to yourself or to the armor itself, and to the armor itself, it's a long process.
Oh.
Here's the bigger thing, though. When it comes to the crew, don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, that too.
If you want more skilled crew members, you can hire level 1, level 2, level 3, whatever fighters.
Yeah.
Of whatever race you want that can be fighters. They will come with appropriate equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you're hiring them as sailors, they will be more lightly armed and armored than if you're hiring them as Marines. But the fighters will always be better equipped, generally with
Yeah.
like mail. If they're
So-
sailors.
Mail was the heaviest armor you could wear while sailing.
Okay.
Kinda,
Routinely,
yeah,
at
kinda.
least.
It
I mean,
depends.
you can get away with full play like I was for a while.
I mean, it depends on a lot of things. But don't overcomplicate it too much. If you're hiring just standard human sailors, 0-level human sailors, or basic, Herwadi or Hadazzi or elves or whatever other race you want to be sailors, they will have leather armor, at best short swords, short bows, something along those lines. If you want to keep that, 0-level people, but have them better equipped, long swords, long bows, crossbows, mail armor, you gotta buy that.
Yeah.
You just buy it.
So
And it's
let's
just
say
a
we
lot
might
easier to
want-
just go, like, at a port, say, I want 20 suits of mail armor for humans. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
It might be something we might want to not worry about for now until we get back to Brawl.
Yeah. And you're going to have downtime at Brawl because, like, as I mentioned, so your dwarves are Marines. They will stay with you until you want to get rid of them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The GIF will be rotated out basically immediately. So
Right.
you'll have all new GIF, but they will be starting immediately. Those are the people who will stay on your ship and guard your ship and protect it from thieves and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The Herwadi and the human crew, they're leaving your service when you get to Brawl.
Yeah,
And you will have to build a new crew. And that will, A, be an opportunity to get different things if you want. But also, B, it does mean that functionally all the faces would be different. Now, if you had purchased mail for them, that's your mail that they're using, and they would have left without it, and you could use it for the next group, kind of thing.
Yeah.
About the crew, by the way, Solas would suggest that when we go to Brawl, that we would recruit at least part of them as Horwati, if possible. They do seem to be quite useful.
I'm what I would recommend is discussing that outside of the game, and then when it is time to get underway again, then you guys just say, we're hiring this and that, and boom.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so anyone else have anything in particular that they wanted to do on week 2?
Yeah. Finn has decided to take an interest in learning how to read, and he's going to ask Solas for some assistance.
Okay. Common?
Common is probably the best to go with.
Okay.
Yeah, Solas is extremely interested in teaching Finn reading.
Do you currently have a spare proficiency slot, or is this going to be working towards when you're next?
I do have one free at the moment.
Okay. All right. Then you will know how to read by the end of the trip.
Okay.
Solas is basically doing his priestly duties when he teaches someone to read. It's one of Ogma's priest's duties to teach reading. Which is why Solas is really, really happy to teach.
All right, and you can fit that in while you're researching, so it's not going to affect your research.
As Finn said to Braxon that he's trying to learn to read?
Knowing Braxon, no.
Fair.
That
That's
was a
almost
good
That was
answer.
an amazing
Good
answer.
answer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Braxton won't be lending you his ring.
I've learned
That
some
would
different variable
would make you.
languages.
It makes you learn languages faster, but if
But
but that's up to you.
I don't think it. I doubt it might help. I doubt it would help it with reading,
No, I don't think it helps
Well,
reading and writing.
since that's mostly practice.
I did not hear what you said, Ockar.
I said he does know what A looks like and how to
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Maybe your cable is loose or something?
know what.
I could not
Hear
hear
me?
that at all.
You hear me?
Barely. There's some sort of connection going on, connection issue.
How about this?
That's better.
Much
It's
better.
different.
Well, I swapped over to my webcam mic for a second. So what he's got to know is what an A looks like and how to recognize an A when he sees it.
And how to write it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ring, since it's mostly practice, whereas trying to learn a new language, you have to learn the logic of the language.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ring only helps with learning a language, not reading and writing. But again,
Solas would also,
by the time the
also
trip is
offer
done, you'll know how to read and write since you have the free proficiency slot.
So
Okay.
Solas would also offer this option for any crew member that is interested in reading and writing, and provides a list of 3 languages that he is willing to teach: read and write Common, Elvish, and Dwarvish.
I think over time for this trip, you probably would have taught a few of them how to read
Yeah.
and write, just as a
Yeah.
This seems like something that you would have let crew when they're coming on board, and it's like, oh, and by the way, welcome aboard. By the way, if you want to learn to read and write, I can teach you. Next person, welcome aboard. If you want to learn how to read and write, well, kind of thing.
Pretty
So
much.
some of them
Pretty
would be
Cool.
would have been taking you up on that.
He holds reading lessons on the starboard deck every day at 10 p.m.
It would be something that the Solas would basically let the crew know as soon as possible, since and even the languages itself he would teach them if someone is interested in, since it's a part of his dogma.
So we got Finnel'ar right.
I
You're
could
breaking
not.
up
Yeah,
again.
you're really breaking up. Is your Discord connection okay?
Sounds like it's well. Oh,
I'll just swap over to the webcam.
Yeah.
You're fine now.
I'm on the webcam.
All right. I
Oh.
think there might be a loose connection with the other one then.
And I can't see it anywhere. I'm checking the wire everywhere.
It might be that it's inside the contacts inside the wire.
So I would have to buy a new headset. Gotcha.
Well, after the game, you can test via Discord to see how you sound to yourself as you speak.
For now, as I was saying, so
Or
Finn's
during the
getting
break.
reading. Is that all? In person?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said. So Finn's reading. What next?
Okay. Yeah. Anything else that you wanted to do, Finn?
No.
Okay.
And
All right. So
as a thematic thing, Solas would use the books on animals and plants that he bought from the Elven Imperial Navy sphere that we visited with the Arakokra.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have anything that they want to do in that second week?
Well, Ebha finishes her research by, what was it? By day 6 of the second week.
Okay.
So I guess she has to roll.
Yes.
What is it? A 100?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you don't want to roll 100.
No, I don't. I'm just thinking whether I want to use a reroll.
I mean,
But
Forest is
It's up
just
to you.
1 week more.
It's up to you.
nah, it's okay. So what would it need to be? It would need to be 28. It's 28%.
Okay, so
Feels
you
like
gotta
my turn now.
continue researching for another week.
Okay,
Was this first or second attempt?
This is the first.
first,
Okay.
28%.
Something I will mention to you, Leva. I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? I at some point there was...
it was you. It was you who
What?
made me. No wonder.
He started talking afterwards. Go on, Lafdul.
Lafdul goes into the library. He's just like screaming bloody murder at me, and Lafdul's like,
What did I
I was only
do?"
just gonna. I was just looking at Talax. He looks like, I don't know. Does he need to be charged up? That's what I was thinking of. Don't we have to periodically charge him?
He will let you know when
I
when he wants.
Oh.
Yeah,
more.
that's.
He needs juice, because casting that in the flow may not be a bad thing to do. Well, you don't want to do it in the flow. I mean,
It's not. Don't forget, it's not fire. It's lightning. Talux needs lightning, not fire.
It's not that long ago since I last hit Talux with lightning bolt.
Yeah, and he said thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on the 10th day, as you are traveling out towards the sphere wall, it is the second hour of first shift. So Finn, Ockar, and Solas are on duty.
Mm-hmm.
So Ockar, you are in command. The ship drops out of spelljamming speed, and one of the crew members calls out, "Ship to port! It appears to be a nautiloid!"
Oh god. I'll look with my spyglass.
Okay.
I would think that this would be something that we would alarm other officers.
That's up to him.
I want to get a look at it first.
Give me an intelligence check, Ockar.
Okay. That would be. My score is 11, so I have to get below 11.
Mm-hmm. Well, 11 or below.
I have a question, because this might be pertinent. Because I had time
That passes.
Okay. Yes, Lafdul?
during the couple of weeks, and I have a black cloak. In order to cut up the smaller cloaks, I just needed time to do that. How many cloaks would I get out of that?
You just need to make miniature cloaks?
Yeah. I mean, it can be any size cloak, but it just says any small black cloak. So anything above a small size, I guess.
2d12 plus 6.
2d6. It's a material component for my cloak, so.
Okay. Because you're not a tailor, correct?
Yeah, I'd lose some. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Go ahead and have that. So 12.
Alright, 12. Alright, cool.
Okay. So, Ockar, you immediately bring up your spyglass and train it on the ship. That ship definitely looks like it's moving away from you, not towards you.
I'll do an alert, but I'll tell the pilots to not engage unless it looks like the nautiloid's coming for us.
So basically, right now you're just alerting the people who are on duty, not waking up people, but just telling everyone to get ready just in case, and be ready to wake people up if something changes?
Yes, and I guess I'll also have to look out to see if there's anything chasing the nautiloid.
Okay. All right. So, and you're directing the helmsman to move away from it, which is Nor in this case. Okay. So it does continue to move away from you. and you continue to move away from it. You're not seeing any sign of it being pursued. It just doesn't seem to want to deal with another ship right now. Again, keep in mind, your ship is twice as large as a Nautiloid.
I know, but I don't feel like engaging with Nautiloid right now.
Right, no, that was more in terms of, like, if there is someone who, like, you have no idea what their goals are or anything like that, but
yeah, I'm fairly certain they're fleeing from us.
Or at the very least, they just don't want to deal with you. They don't know who you are, perhaps. Like, it could be just that. They don't know who you are, and they don't want to have anything to do with you because you could be hostile to them.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm watching it with my spyglass, do I notice any signs of damage on it?
You're too far away to make that out, but there's no obvious damage.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So, like, you're not seeing... It doesn't appear to be a derelict. It doesn't appear to have big holes in the hull, missing, the ram, things like that.
No, it still looks intact from a distance.
As intact as you can tell, yeah.
Okay. And I don't see any ship debris around it or anything.
Mm.
Okay. Then I'll just assume that it was on its own course and we accidentally crossed paths and it doesn't want to deal with us.
Okay. After a few minutes, it is far enough away for both of your vessels to enter spelljamming speed again. And you continue on your way. So again, you know that Red Eyes is kind of a crossroads sphere. There's a number of Illithid-dominated spheres that you can get to through it. So if back in Chthon space, you had actually figured out and taken the risk of going through Illithid space, it would be reasonable to assume that you would end up here again.
Yeah.
By that route as well. So the fact that you're encountering an Illithid vessel
it's not unrare.
Right. It's not. It doesn't strike you as
rare.
Unusual.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And you would have learned from the elves that they believe that there's like at least another dozen small Illithid outposts in this sphere, similar to the one that you visited.
Makes sense. So onwards.
Okay, Lafdul, did you say something?
Yeah, it'd be up to Ockar whether or not he'd think about that now.
Oh, well, they're already gone.
Okay.
Yeah, he just made some tells me it's like they're already gone.
All right. So you'll communicate that during shift changeover, and you'd probably stay on heightened alert for the rest of the shift, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we end up crossing against another Nautiloid. Or something bigger. I'm not sure if they have bigger Nautiloid-like ships.
They do. It's called a Dreadnought, and it is like a Nautiloid shell turned on its side with two of the bottom hulls.
Wasn't that the first ship we came across was a Dreadnought?
You have encountered one, and you avoided it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. We had a fight with a normal Nautiloid, and then we saw one of those, and Braxon was like, "We're getting out of here." And I think Lever got on the helm so that we could have an increased SR to get away from it. The other time when we had a fight with one, might have been, yeah. The other time when we had a fight with an Nautiloid was we had a slower helmsman and they did something that disrupted us from being able to spelljam. I think they teleported aboard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
to mess up the helm room.
I'd let Braxon and the others know about what happened.
Okay. Braxon, any comment on
that? Braxon says, if you see any ships like that, might be a good idea just to wake me up.
Well, it was actively fleeing from us, so I didn't really see it as a threat at the time. I was keeping an eye on it. If it was coming towards us, I would have woken you up.
I'd rather lose a bit of sleep and put my armor on for no reason,
Okay.
just in case. Takes a while to put my armor on.
Okay.
Okay.
But you did well. You did well steering away from it.
All right.
Wasn't that hard. It was steering away from us.
I mean, you could have tried to go and chase it if you wanted.
I know.
yeah.
I was just like, well, it wasn't hard. It was fleeing us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if they're inherently evil creatures, if we actively pursue them, it's not exactly a good act, is it?
Not necessarily. It's more of a chaotic act than good or evil.
I was going for the lawful thing of it didn't attack us. I don't see a point in going after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Unless it's actively attacking somebody else at the time, yeah.
Oh, and because you didn't know that it for certain that it was a pirate ship or anything like that.
Yeah.
And there
Well,
are
we
non-Illithids do occasionally use nautiloids too. So.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do know that Illithids mostly use nautiloids, and they do eat people's brains, and they do routinely kidnap people.
Yeah, but we weren't sure that there was Illithid on board.
Yeah.
We didn't know if it was owned by Illithids. We didn't know if they were Illithid slavers at that, and we didn't know what the current plans were or anything. So it seemed like a good idea to just stay away and let them go on their business.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
It's not like we are just murder hobos.
Yeah,
I agree. That's why I was saying you made a good call. But it
I was
could be in
gonna say-
future. We got a letter of marque from someone like the Pragmatic Order of Thought to attack any slaving ships.
yeah,
I was
but
thinking we
that
could have
wasn't
been
now.
we could have been
Also-
really sly and interrogated them for Leva's history about that Illithid base
also-
if they knew about it.
Yeah, but again, we weren't sure who were piloting it and
I know.
crewing it.
And also
didn't get
keep
it.
in mind that there are dozens and dozens and dozens of Illithid functionally nations out there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So, all
it'd
right.
be very hard to figure out somebody that knew that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I know.
one thing I did
I
forget
wasn't-
for the first week is that it would have been another pay period for the crew. So not the second week,
when?
but the
Oh.
first week.
Or
Finn has
Hey,
stepped
that
away,
means
so
all
when
my-
he gets back, he can address that.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's
I
all my
wasn't
true
I
sync
wasn't
components are done.
I wasn't telling Ockar he was wrong. I was just telling him don't worry about waking up Braxon. Braxon doesn't have to
Okay.
regain spells. Yeah. So if Braxon gets woken up, gets up for about 10 minutes and says everything's fine and goes back to sleep, then it doesn't disrupt him the next day.
So, what happens next?
Okay. So the rest of that week is uneventful, and you guys get into the third week. Anyone have anything different that they're doing? Leva is
I'm
going to
just
finish up her spell research at the end of the week.
I think I would need to roll for the spell research, the time and the cost.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and do that.
I should have rolled last week for it.
Yeah.
Cost was since it's second level spell, it's 2d10. Was it times 10?
That is. Give me a second.
It's level D10 times 100.
There you go.
Yeah. So 400. Though since I am using the commune, it's halved.
Okay.
And time is 2 weeks per spell level, but again with commune it's halved, so 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the second week.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Leva, near the end of that week, you can make another roll for
Okay.
your research.
This time she's going to use a reroll.
Okay.
She
I
wants
think
to
you
be
get,
finishing. Huh?
I think you get +10 for the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
38 is a better chance of having one of the two rolls go down.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
good luck.
It's pretty decent chance.
All right, I have marked that off. That's
Oh
yeah,
God,
it's not
that's quite wrong.
That's a typo.
two S100s.
Yeah, well,
It
you know,
happens.
details.
But it was a 2.
Oh, there's a 3.
That
Yeah,
3 is
Well
going to
done.
that's a
work.
success.
Okay.
All right.
So now it's the number of pages.
Yep.
Oh, there's a 3.
Let me just look. That's plus spell level -1, so it's +5.
Lovely.
Hmm.
I can't blame Lafdul. He didn't say anything.
Well, it's probably around the corner somewhere.
Have you almost filled out your spell books?
Yeah, they're filling
Which
up with
one?
too quickly.
Welcome to being a wizard.
Yeah, that's why I made 2 books for myself last time I made books.
Okay. Anyone else have anything that they want to do on that third week?
I am now sculpting.
Okay. All right. So are you sculpting the model right now?
I'm doing the model, the practice run.
All right. Go ahead and give me a proficiency check then, please.
Actually, old.
Mhm.
I get to roll at the end of second week since my research proficiency takes 1 day off from each week.
Okay. We'll do that in a second.
So yeah, so it's only 12 days instead of 14.
All right, so Lafdul, you have succeeded in carving out a small model, and you're pretty happy with it. It gives you a good guide to get going. Let me think about. Let's say that it takes 3 weeks to do the full-size thing in detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it'll be like another week or 2 for the horn. Which have you done
I would
those
say
onyx?
the 3 weeks is for the whole thing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
This I want it to be like above average quality, or as good as I can get it. And this is like something I'm selling.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you, because of that, I'm gonna have you make
near like Mastercraft, like I am with
Yeah.
the Jade statue. These are like I'm putting a lot of effort in.
I want you to roll checks each week. Which are the initial ones are not to see if you pass or fail kind of thing. It's to see if you get it good quality or not kind of thing.
So let me read the check.
And then the final one is to see if it comes out properly. All right.
I have a. I go to Braxon. Can I have a crate full of sawdust and chips? So when I make this statue, it doesn't like shatter if we get attacked. I have somewhere to store it.
Yeah, we should have some crates floating around.
Yeah.
And
Leftover stuff
I
from food and supplies and stuff like that. So for sure.
Yeah, I think Braxon will probably be saving up stuff like sawdust and stuff.
I mean,
Yes.
unless you you don't have a jettison, which some of that would be used in combat, but
Yeah.
some of it you refill when you get to ports. Some of it is good for just storing other things. So yeah, I mean, you guys, in general, when it comes to common stuff like that around, you guys have it.
And we might just have a few extra in case we want to store something that we find
Yeah, so most statues. I knew we'd have plenty of sawdust and crates to spare lumber.
One thing I forgot to say that I would have used the fish to top off our water supplies basically at least once a week.
Okay.
Oh.
It's
I
60 gallons when used.
Well, I need a glue to combine the two pieces. Or
Um,
something that the alchemists would have to prepare outside of the phlogiston.
you've
I
got.
think you said
I think you've
yeah, I
got
think-
materials for stuff
yeah,
like
I
that.
had some spare. I can't remember if it was war. I used for like one more statue or two.
I'm okay with you having the materials for this, as long as you have the stone. And any metal that you want to use, and any gems you want to use, and something like that, all that kind of stuff. I think you've got the other supplies that you need. Maybe pay $10. 10 gold every time you get to port to resupply that. Get new sandpaper, get new, make sure that your chisels are sharp. All blah blah blah. All that stuff. I'm fine with that.
Oh.
Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that's fine. This would be the entirety of the alabaster.
Okay.
And I've got. Well, actually, no, that'll be the entirety of the onyx as well. Oh, well.
Okay.
It's fine. The onyx part's smaller, so I don't need as much.
Yeah. Did you want to do anything like with embedding something in the eyes?
Yeah, I will have. Oh no, I need gems.
Doesn't have to be gems. It could be other stone too.
Well, no, because we're selling this for the company. I'm doing this for the money. I mean, yeah, I'm also building up a reputation.
Right, I understand. I'm just saying that like you have the choice of what you put into the eye.
All right. Does anyone in the company mind if I use some of the expensive gems for this? Because we're making this for money.
To earn money for us.
Again,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to
I'm
be
selling...
expensive gems either.
No,
like,
I mean we
choose first. Like my recommendation is first choose something with an appropriate color. The color that you want for the eyes. And again, you don't have to. Some of this, it could be painted. That's still lovely. That can still be masterwork. There's a lot of different things. You could use onyx for the eye as well.
What color eyes do unicorns have? Lafdul would know this because he's probably seen unicorns on every meet.
They would definitely have multiple colors of eyes. I think standard horse colors plus blue, at least.
Yeah, I was thinking
maybe
we got
gold as well.
500 gold sapphire, and that's already cut. I wanted to cut that into two smaller pieces and use them.
Don't we have smaller ones?
No.
Oh.
That's the only blue. Well, actually, there's star rose quartz. That's rose.
I mean, again, it doesn't have to be realistic either. It can be
Well,
fancy.
that's what I want to go with. Yeah, no, I want to do it out of sapphire.
Okay.
So I'll use the sapphire out of that.
Then you'd probably need to pay for that.
What?
Pay for the gem. If that's.
We got the gem. Oh yeah,
I mean, if it's not a personal gem, if it's a company gem, then you need to.
Yeah,
buy
I'm
it
selling the statue for a company profit.
I understand that, but to get the gem.
All right.
Like. That gem is just something that hasn't been sold off, and the profit split. Correct?
No, this is a gem we bought as a potential trade good from Mage. A long time ago.
It's basically that you put deposit for the gem.
All right, I'll pay.
Yeah, I mean, you still need to buy the gem from the company, essentially.
The thing is, if I'm selling it for the company at that point, or am I selling it for myself?
Selling it for the company. But you're still owning you're still going to get a cut of the profits, unless you want it all to go into the company fund.
Well, it's something I'll discuss later, but I am implying to...
Yeah, we can discuss this later then. Okay. Alright, so do you want to roll the first check?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a success. Okay, and all right, so you get to work on the full-sized version. Solas, you can go ahead and roll for your learning.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a success.
All right, so you have to continue researching. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the third week comes to a close uneventfully, and you move into the fourth week. So getting to days 22 to 28. All right. So let's see. Lafdul's going to continue working on that. Finn is continuing to learn to read and write. Solas is continuing research. Anyone else doing anything? Leva, what are you working on?
Leva is actually going to go through the documents that we have.
Okay. So you're going to start studying the common copies.
Yes. And she will ask Braxon whether he would lend her his ring so she would understand what she reads.
Yeah, sure.
Only if
you
someone knows the language.
who have you got in the crew that knows the language?
What part are you trying to read?
The documents that we took from.
Right, but you have documents written in Illithid that you have no ability to translate, and then you have there's a pair of documents for every transaction, as you've discovered.
Mm-hmm.
One is in Illithid you can't read, and then one is in common. So you're reading the common ones?
Yes, in that case I don't need the ring.
Okay.
What might work when we go back to the Rock of Brow, the ring has to be a certain distance away from people that know the language.
So you wanted a shadow and a Illithid back at the Rock of
She
Brow,
can't with that type of language.
Hang on.
Let people finish their thoughts.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Braxon.
What we could possibly do is rent a room next to the Illithid embassy and see whether it's possible for you to tap into the mental abilities of an Illithid with my ring so that you can read these. But we'll probably have to have you guarded, because if they're like got powerful mental abilities, if they realize that you're tapping into their powers, they might perceive it to be an attack and come after you.
Is it tapping into their powers? I thought it was mimicking a link.
The question
Hold on, one
Mm.
second. Ockar, make sure you're facing your microphone since you're using the webcam. That's fine. It's very very echoey and quiet and kind of hard to hear if you're not facing the microphone. I did hear what you said, but go ahead. Leva.
Also, would you mind letting Leva talk to me and then come in at the end if needed?
Well, he said something before. I just didn't hear a word. Anyway, is that even possible? Question to Old. That even with the ring, if the Illithids talk mentally by telepathy or whatever with each other, would the ring even pick it up?
So, no, it would not grant you the ability to communicate mentally through telepathy as Illithids do. Nor would it grant you the ability to use their tentacles to read, because that is how they read.
Right.
Okay.
Question.
That takes care of that idea. Okay.
But you can still read the common side of each of the transactions.
She will definitely do that.
Okay. Solas, hold on. Solas, you had a question?
Yeah, was it common or was it undercommon or Illithid trade tongue?
Right, that's right. It was Illithid trade tongue.
Well, Illithid trade tongue, Leva speaks it. Does she read it? Would she learn to read if she speaks it?
Not necessarily.
You have to spend proficiency for the reading.
Well, I've got a weird question for you, Leva, while we're talking about this.
All right.
If it takes tentacles to read this,
Mm.
bearing in mind the previous stuff I said, do you think you could temporarily polymorph yourself into an Illithid
Probably.
and be near an Illithid and then read? Well, if you want to do that, I'd be willing to go with you and guard you. And obviously I'll know that the Illithid is you, so I won't attack you. But if you want to try that, I'll be up for it.
No, none of these, none of the spells that you have, none of the items that you have convey other means of communication besides
It's a spell
standard
we have to come
speaking
up
and
with.
standard reading.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
So
Probably
none of them
like
would give
high
you
level.
any ability to understand hand signs. None of it would give you an ability to understand jargon. That kind of thing. So.
Oh, because you're saying because it's like Braille, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Leva,
fair.
Mm.
did you have a comprehend languages spell?
Yes, she does.
You could use that to read the texts,
Mhm.
since that would basically make them understandable for you.
Yeah, the Illithid trade tongue documents you could use that for.
Yeah,
Alright.
once Solas has done with his spell research, Solas was planning on using comprehend languages himself and basically translating the documents so that they are easier to hand over.
Yes, so Lever will do that.
And Solas,
Also, something we have never talked about is does any of the stuff we found need to be identified?
You mean stuff you found in the Illithid area?
Yes.
Other than the book, I don't think you found any magic items.
yeah,
All right.
I don't think so.
So she will concentrate on the documents.
Okay.
Yeah, and once Solas has done with his magic research, Solas would be more than eager to help Leva. Since Solas also wants to basically practice on translating texts.
So what Lever will, when Lever starts, and she would just put the stuff that she read on Solas's desk.
Okay.
Eh?
Or at least because right now they're in multiple boxes and everything like that.
Mhm.
So you'd
Mhm.
start and you'd either label or set aside the boxes that you've already read through, kind of thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so you begin working on that. Given the limited number of spells, and I'm not going to roll for wild surges. I'm just going to assume that you only get level variation, kind of thing. That is one of the places where you're definitely getting into a point where wild surges aren't fun. They're just a headache. I like them in a combat situation because that really, they can really throw wrenches into works and stuff like that. But when it comes to this kind of thing, it's like, because a lot of it is hand waving, I'm not gonna detail exactly what how much you get read with each spell, blah blah blah, so kind of thing. So, but it is going to take weeks to get through because of the limited time that you can actually read them with the spells. I'm assuming that you're going to focus on taking as many of those as you reasonably can.
Doesn't Solas, don't you have something that makes us read faster?
Yeah, I was planning on lending the lenses of speed reading to you while I'm working on the spell research, on the promise that you handle them with extreme care. Those are my
promises.
most.
There
Those
definitely
are,
promises that. Bitch, give
to,
them to me.
well, I'm loaning, but those are my most precious possession.
Then you come in
Lafdul
one day to her and she's gotten a little. You're taking a little break from reading, playing playing hacky sack with the lens. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. All right. So Level will get working on that. That is probably going to take the rest of the trip.
Okay.
To read through all of that, and then once Solas gets started translating.
for the mental image of the lenses of speed reading, I did ask, make sure this is okay. They are basically Scrooge McDuck glasses.
It's actually lens of speed reading, not lenses.
Well, you
like a
did say
monocles.
You did say when we talked about this at the start of my character's career that you would be okay with them being like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Then if I already said that, then that's fine.
Okay. So am I correct? They don't stack with haste?
No.
Okay.
But they are more powerful
You'd be
than
aging
haste.
so
Yes.
fast.
So Leva goes through that with the lenses, with the
Okay.
lens.
Just imagine if haste was working, you finally found your family, but you're like 300 years older, so they disbelieve you because you're too old.
Oh, you're older than your dad.
It happens, you know.
That would be quite a feat for an elf.
All
Not
right. So,
impossible.
on the 27th day, during the 9th hour of second shift, the ship
You
does
rolling for
drop out.
hours?
I'm sorry?
You rolling for hours?
I do, yeah.
Are you
So
just
I know...
making that up?
No, I pre-rolled for what shift and what hour, so that I know, like...
Oh, you pre-rolled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always pre-roll this stuff.
The way you just pull out a roll, it's at this hour. It's like, do you roll a dice for that?
I hate to disillusion you, but D&D is essentially a game where somebody makes stuff up.
I mean, I could make it up, but it's just easier to roll a d12 for hours and, like, anything else that has an even number to determine what shift, just because then I know who's on duty, who's asleep, and also, like, the hour matters partly for flavor, but also if it's, like, the first hour, then pretty much everyone's still awake. If it's the last hour, pretty much everyone's still, you know, gotten up. But if it's in the middle, then yeah, you need to wake people up.
All right, cool. Thank you.
So, the ship drops out of... Oh, thank you for doing that. Drops out of spelljamming speed, and you can see... Well, a member of the crew calls out that there is a small sailing vessel off the starboard bow. And that is where we're going to take our short break. So we will be back in about 10 minutes. Good time to get something to eat or drink. And we will see you all shortly in about 10 minutes, everyone.
See you on the other side.
See ya.